One of the biggest gaps in digitizing manufacturing operations is the ability to gather data on manual work. Drishti recognized this and applied artificial intelligence to help augment human potential in an increasingly automated world. Drishti's ability to digitize human actions inside the factory creates a powerful new data set, which is really driving sweeping improvements in productivity, quality, and traceability. With that, I'll pass it off to Prasad, who we're super excited to hear from today. We're going to see their AI from their work at Ford. This will be the first time any Drishti AI has been shown in public for an auto OEM. So Prasad, over to you.
Thank you, Stephen and the Deloitte team. First, a quick voice check. Can you hear me?
We can, Prasad.
Beautiful. As the founder and CEO of Drishti, it's my pleasure to be talking to you about what we're working on. We're a company that's transforming the world of manufacturing, as Stephen just said. And we're doing that by using a new data set that Jeff spoke about a few minutes ago when he talked about using data to let him and Reynolds benchmark their plants and keep their employees safe. So there's a whole slew of things you can do when you've got powerful data in your hands. Put simply, Drishti is a video analytics and video traceability company. We've pioneered AI that extracts process information from video streams. And in doing so, our goal is to work with and assist the 345 million line associates and hundreds of thousands of engineers who create products that you and I use on a daily basis. And critically, to do this by augmenting them, not replacing them. So today, I'll dig into AI-powered production on Ford's lines in Mexico. My host and executive sponsor, Dragos, actually is on the line with us. So that's, I'm thrilled to have him here. And I'd like to give you a live example of a practical, scalable AI system that Bill spoke about in his introduction, about making AI systems that work with people that Nishita spoke about, and about shifting the productivity curve that Stephen referenced. So without much ado, let's jump in and see what's going on here. So first, let's look at the last 100 years of manufacturing. As we've gone through these 3 eras of manufacturing, Henry Ford took us from craft production to mass production, and Taiichi Ohno took us from mass to lean or Toyota production system. But the interesting thing in all of this, over all of these 100 years that you'll see in the next slide, is that surprisingly, a few things haven't changed. The first is the significant presence of people on the plant floor. About fully 72% of factory activities are still performed by people. The second is the absence of measurement techniques that can work at scale. Because the current processes, think of the industrial engineer, I think Stephen said he started out life in that role, with a stopwatch, are just too labor intensive and are fundamentally biased. And third, if you look at the world of robots and cobots and AI, despite having all of this, we cannot answer 3 basic questions. And the 3 basic questions that we can answer are: what just happened? What's happening now? And how do we improve what comes next? This temporal view of things on the plant floor. So what I'm going to show you today, for the first time using Ford's data at an OEM, is how Ford is answering these questions. Thanks, of course, to Drishti's AI-powered action recognition technology, which makes it possible to gather this data and answer these questions. So first, a little context and on the infrastructure. As I previously stated, we are a video analytics and video traceability company. So the video camera is central to gathering data, creating this AI-powered production that we talk about, and delivering value both to the business and to the operators in the line. And we'll talk more about that here. So what this means is that we place a camera on every station on the line, and we do this to monitor the process, not the people. These cameras continuously capture video information that enable complete video traceability. You want to know what happened to a part, you can find out later. Our AI parses this video to identify key manufacturing processes and to identify critical process steps in near real time. This combination of AI, video data is what's transformative for manufacturers. So let's bring this to life at Ford's Chihuahua engine plant, where they make the Dragon engines. What you're seeing here is the Drishti system running on a line of 40 plus stations in this engine plant. And in particular, you're seeing the video of the line through the eyes of the Drishti camera. Now you can see that in the middle there, our AI system is continuously measuring cycle time, every cycle, every unit, all day long. And we're doing this live, round tripping to the cloud and back using our AI. Now I'm sure you're probably saying, oh, Ford could already gather a rough picture of what's going on from a cycle time perspective on the plant floor using other sensors. But the challenge that they've got, and what they cannot answer, is where is the bottleneck and why? Where do I focus my resources to improve the throughput, train people, change the process, better material feed, as well as what are the sources of the cycle time variability that's causing me to have issues? Now, if you worked in the world of computer vision, you know that computer vision and AI are notoriously sensitive to changing environmental conditions. And manufacturing is a very dynamic environment. So the demands on Drishti's breakthrough action recognition technology are significant. We've got to be robust to variations in size, locations of parts on the floor, people working differently, cameras being blocked, lighting conditions changing, the color of my skin and clothes being different than the next operator coming on the line. We've got to do the inference in a very short period of time to make this happen in real time. And we've got to do this within the margins of manufacturing economics. Manufacturing is very cost conscious, as we all know. So what you just saw on the Ford line is a practical, vertically integrated AI solution that addresses all of these issues, as Bill talked about in his 2021 Tech Trends a few minutes ago. Now let's look at, now that we know what the infrastructure does, let's go back to Ford to the 3 questions that need to be answered and how Drishti helps make this happen. Let's start with the first question. What just happened? Normally in a factory environment, if you want to understand why something went wrong, you got to send an army of engineers to perform intense, manual investigations, the root cause analysis. With Drishti, it's actually very simple. Want to see what happened to unit with serial number 12345, Tuesday at 3:18. It is a quick search for the video like you would do on YouTube. And once you got the video and you studied it, you can forward it to the training team, or you can build a time study on top of it, or you can share the video with your engineers back in headquarters so the team can collectively troubleshoot. Now with Drishti, the root cause analysis, the quality and training improvements that have typically taken our customers days and weeks, and sometimes never possible, now just take a few minutes. Now let's go to the second question. What's happening now? One of Ford's goals is to understand bottlenecks on this line, as the bottleneck station controls the throughput of the entire line and controls the finances of the factory. Knowing where these bottlenecks are is critical to get ahead of any slowdowns. And of course, the longer the line, the problem is significantly harder. It's a compounded problem. So here's where AI comes in. Since we're measuring the cycle time for every unit on every station, when a slowdown occurs, we can provide the Ford team the data backed by video so they know where the issue is. They also know what the statistical characteristics of the bottleneck station are. And now they can solve this problem with hard facts available to them. Factories have never had this visibility into manual activities ever before. And let's talk about the third question. How do we improve what comes next? Today, if Ford wants to improve a line, they've got to send their engineers to the line spend hours gathering data with a stopwatch. Not so with Drishti. One, we deliver the data so that Ford's industrial engineers can focus on problem solving with significant data to guide them. Two, we empower them to rapidly make changes and determine the impacts of these changes within a day. So for the first time, you can do A/B testing, rapid A/B testing at scale on the factory floor. Imagine your line supervisors making small changes, continuously optimizing their systems, not having to wait for the industrial engineer to show up once in a quarter. Change happens dramatically faster now. Now, all that I've talked about is from the perspective of the business, from the CEO or the CFO's perspective. So let's look at it from the perspective of the line associate, the 345 million of them who work around the world. The first thing to know is that unlike the vast majority of Industry 4.0 investments, Drishti augments and empowers these line associates. We empower them. We don't replace them. Empowered workers are happier. They do a better job. They're less likely to leave, and they help drive the business with insights from the front line. This is what Taichi Ono and the Toyota Production System realized. They know the best. And specifically, Drishti's data empowers these line associates in multiple ways. It provides a record of truth, a method of improving the value they create, a tool for learning and training, and will soon be able to help them improve their health and safety. So what happens when Ford can answer these three questions? Employees from around the world can see what's happening on floors around the world. Essentially, we're driving deep visibility. They can detect and fix bottleneck issues to improve productivity. They can reduce rework and defect rates to improve quality. And we can help these line associates add more value while being safe. So in conclusion, Drishti is an AI technology that helps both manufacturers and their employees. And in so doing, we're ushering in a whole new era of manufacturing, what we call AI-powered production. And we are shifting the productivity curve that Stephen spoke about. Thank you, Deloitte, Stephen, and the team for giving us this opportunity, and the entire audience for your attention this morning.
So that concludes